Let's go live, and we should be live. Let me just check YouTube that we are live. We will be live, but that's it. Tonight's the night. Tonight
Tonight
is
is
the
the
night.
night.
Many people got online with loads of comments. Are you in the house, Kaiser?
Yes, I am, brother. At
There we
home.
go. I can hear you now. That's it. Right. Hail from US. Palms in from the US of A. I'm getting feedback. Turn that mic down. Can't believe Palmer not playing. Is the team out? The team's not out. Oh my God, the team is out. Right, the team is out. Hart, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Scales, Taylor, McGregor, O'Reilly, Hitati, Maida, Palmer, and Kyogo. There you
Palmer
go. There,
playing.
Palmer's playing. So whoever said Palmer's not playing,
Check your
Palmer's playing.
facts.
So
Check your
look on here.
facts.
Check your facts, beesh. Yeah. Palmer's playing. Yeah, it's the same team as the weekend. So
Yeah.
I can go into here and I can put the team along the bar. So it's Hart, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Scales, Taylor, O'Reilly, McGregor. Yeah, it's the exact same team as the weekend, as we thought it would be.
Exactly.
I don't think there was any need to change it. Right, let's jump in and get some of the comments because there's loads of folk being online. Let's jump through these first. And Stevens says, "Come on, you boys in green." Sorry, I've not read these yet, so I'm just going to read them straight out. Nervous Dublin. I think Celtic fans all around the world are all be nervous tonight. Rory. Baz win. Can we win the game? Baz, a win tonight? Well, we're going to be hammered. That's one way to look at it. Green Machine is in the house. Kevin Leslie's in the house. And I'm just going to jump right through these. Sorry, I'm not going to get a chance to read them all out. 2-1 win. 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. Who? James is in the house. Stevens. Joel's in the house. Brian. I'm just going to jump right through. Jeez, there's some amount of comments. And big shout out to Pam from the US of A. And there's Dublin's in the house as well. Spain's in the house. Scotland's in the house. We're all around the world. As now London's in the house. Southeast London. Big Dom's in from London. Right. One full built up had Yang and Phillips. No Palmer on CC. That's why you wait till you get on here and you see the team. So there is the team. It is the exact same as the weekend. What do you think of the team, Kaiser?
I think it's very positive. Coming off of the weekend, we were playing good football. Strolled that game against the man came up, the Diet Huns at Swinecastle. Thought we were excellent. So yeah, best foot forward. Let's get in and get something done tonight. I'm also on that 3-1 bandwagon. I see Celtic getting a result tonight. Yeah. I'm hyped for it, bro.
Even though that they're flying in the Spanish league and they're only 3 points off the top with a game in hand. If they win their game in hand, due to goal difference, they'll go top of the league in Spain. The grandparent boys are in the house. You know, on the bus tonight, on the way down to the game, Graham.
I'm under no illusions, bro, of how high caliber and what the quality of the opposition is. The fact that they've harped back to their strip for 1974, trying to ruffle a few feathers. You know what I mean? It's hilarious to me. I'm like, let's go for it. Let's pull this mob apart at Celtic Park. You know what I mean?
Talk to somebody in the comments. I need to plug something in.
No problem. You take your time, legends. Y'all legends, welcome. Welcome to my man Bazzy's live stream before the game. Checking out that upcoming team as we've just seen. Having a good time, building up to the match. I think we're going to, you've heard my opinion there now. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do well. I know there's a lot of people out there having a pessimistic view. I believe the most voted for score on social media was a Celtic win at 3-2. So I could suggest a highly competitive game. Maybe the break of the ball either way. But one thing I can tell you for sure is we've been gathering momentum. We've been building as the season's going on. As people said, and maybe rightly said, we started this season weaker than we were last season by the sale of Jota, the retirement of Aaron Moy, and other players like Starfelt leaving. But we've brought in quality replacements. And some of them are project players. But the good thing about a project is you never know when it's going to come good. And it might just be tonight.
might just be tonight. I think everyone's, when we look back to the summer transfer window, let's not be honest, we were all disappointed in the window due to the fact that at the end of last season, everyone to a man was saying that, look, we only need to bring in 2 or 3 first team players to make us better for the Champions League, to give us that little bit edge. Players that are going to come right into the squad and make a bit of difference. Matt O'Reilly's upped his game this season. You could say he's a bit like a new player. The way that he's changed his game a bit. If tonight's the night that you'll probably find that Hatate will up his game. It's games like this. And then Louis Palma, this is his dream. This is his dream. This is the level. I mean, coming from South America, I mean, I don't know how many Colombians are in this part of the world. Coming from South America, he wants to play in the Spanish league. It's a given, and he thinks that he's going to go to the highest level. I mean, he wants to go and play for Real Madrid. So, can he knock a guy for having the confidence? But tonight's the night. Tonight's the night that he's got to show. He's got to show the Spaniards. This is the night where he goes, "Hello, I'm Louis."
Hola.
Do you know what I mean?
Hola.
Aye.
That's it, brother.
Hola.
Me, I'm much the same. Players will be relishing this challenge. Yep. What's the saying? Shoot for the stars and you might just land on top of the world. So I'm sure Palma will be shooting for the stars and looking to go out there and impress and show the calibre of his performance he can muster here in the Champions League, especially against Spanish opposition, if that's his dream move. Maybe not a kind of player that can reach the heights of Real Madrid and playing for the Galacticos, as they are known. Yeah, but you never knock it, you know what I mean? There's always a possibility.
A long time since look who's in the house. You know my name has sneaked back out from underneath the covers that he's been hiding all this time.
You know my name.
You know my name. He's sneaked out.
You know my name, brother.
For underneath the covers, he started another new YouTube channel, and I'm going to take a screenshot of the band's YouTube channels that he's actually started in here. He's gone.
That's obsession. That's obsession. You get me, Baz? And what is it they say is haters are just confused lovers. They're in here giving you a view, giving you attention, activity on your videos. Thank you very much. Know my name. You know what I mean? Thank you for being obsessed, deluded. It's not my fault that your stadium is the largest tombstone in Scotland. That's your fault, brother. You let your club die. We did not. We just relished and revelled in it.
That's it. And we won the big cup, the one that we're in the Champions League as it is now. We're in it tonight, and his team have been nowhere near it. So, and when they did, they got the award of being the worst ever team to have played in the
Champions League history.
Yes, the worst team ever in Champions League history. So that's a good.
That's a title. That's a title to have, innit? I bet I put that on the board. You know, that biggest football club in the world, 5-star stadium. You know,
5-star stadium,
worst team in Champions League history. You know, I bet that's not there.
I bet it's not. What's his name? Is Staunchy Face, McStaunchy Face. I bet it is actually. I bet it is. Right, let's get back to Stock McStaunch. Sorry, the team. Who do you think will be standout tonight?
Really,
when you look at it,
I've seen a couple players. I've seen a couple people comment on previous videos, Baz, and say Hatate should be benched. I'm like, are you on Deludimo or something? What's happening there? For me, Hatate's just finally getting back to remnants of his best form. I think Hatate will stand out tonight.
When you look at the bench, sorry to butt in there, but when you look at the bench, you've got Ben Morrison, Lagerbielke, Phillips, Yang, Turnbull, O, Tomoki, Bernardo, Forrest, Ralston, and Mikey Johnson makes the bench. So it's quite a strong bench. But if you were to have left, I mean, who can you see coming on at the second half? Because I think there's going to be changes early. I think there'll be changes about the 60-minute mark, purely to keep try and keep the tempo up against this team. Because let's face it, they'll sit back and soak up all day long. So it's up to us to make sure that we and it's up to the fans as well. You know, at times when we're having to pass it from side to side, to just keep the ball. You know, when we're passing it side to side in Europe, it's not about just not being able to break them down. It's being able to just retain the ball. Because let's face it, the more you retain the ball, the more that the players get the confidence in themselves. And can we get them on the back foot? I think we need to drag them out a bit. I think we need to drag them out. They like to sit back a bit and then hit us on the break. So we'll see. We'll see. And what did you think about Celtic putting out that video this afternoon? I don't know if you've seen it on social media. And it was basically celebrating, and it was reminding us of the last two meetings. It was 11, 12 years ago, and then in the 80s, and then they went on and talked about the game in 74. And it's like, Jesus, talk about...
Well,
we lost the games.
I wasn't even born in 74. And I understand, well, older generation, right? Celtic Pappies watching this. Welcome in, Celtic Pappies, every last one of you. We're delighted to have you here. For that generation, that will be a game that stands out in their mind as a time where Jimmy Johnston was absolutely booted off the park. I have seen videos of the game. I have watched replays. I know exactly what went on in that game. And there was a few assaults, let's just say, in both legs. You know what I mean? It wasn't just at Paradise.
Listen, it was at a time. It was at a time in football where that kind of thing went on. I mean, if you look at the Scottish game in the 80s, I mean, some of the tackles in Celtic Rangers games in the 80s, do you know, it was unbelievable.
Exactly.
I mean, who brought it up in the first place? I mean, because if you ask me, it's the media just trying to make up nonsense. I mean, it was 1974, for goodness sake. It wasn't as if it was 2003. It wasn't as if we're playing Porto from 2003 and Porto that cheated their way through. If we were playing Porto again, I could understand why it had been brought up, because it was only in 2003, and that's fresh in the memory of a majority of Celtic fans. We're talking about a game that was in 1974, and everyone's getting their I don't want to say it, people are getting their knickers in a twist about a game that very few of us can remember as Celtic fans. I mean, I was only a couple of years old at the time, so I mean, even I missed it.
Pup.
So yep, I was just born. So I just noticed that my name must have subscribed with two different new accounts. He's such a sorrow. But anyway, he's been blocked again. Let's get to some of the. I was there in 74. There we go. I was there in 74.
Let's go, Norman.
There we go. I was crying. Lanky in the 80s, footballers were proper footballers. They weren't scared to go in for a challenge compared to footballers these days. I think it's going to be the case where, will the Spanish go down easy tonight?
Of course they will. Of course they will. You know what I mean? I've been on holiday to Spain, Baz. The Spanish always go down easy. You know what I mean? But I think that's part of the modern game, when you can influence the referee, win decisions, win possession, move higher up the park. It's part of the dark arts of football. We see it all over the world. It's something that Celtic should incorporate more into their game. Certainly enough other sides do it to us. So, and the referees always seem to be incredibly harsh at the European level. Any sort of infringement is seen as you're obstructing a professional player. So
and it's I believe it's German referees and officials that we have tonight.
Oh, outstanding! So, delighted for that. You know what I mean? They'll be proficient. They'll be proficient at least, hopefully.
Hopefully. Feyenoord Lazio is 2-0 to Feyenoord, Dan says. That was obviously the early kickoff. I've not even looked at the group or anything yet.
Nope.
I mean, I was going to look. Just grab this sports.
Let's go, Lanky's away to get mangled. Let's go, Lanky.
Yeah, let's go, Lanky. He's away to get
mangled.
I think he's away at the game. That's one thing I do miss. Being back home, I am going to the game in Madrid. I am going to the game in Madrid, so I'm highly looking forward to that, and highly looking forward to catching up with guys that go to the games and my mates that go to the games. I think that'll be a good little trip. We're going up for a couple of days, but back to tonight. I think we need to take something. That's what I was going to do. I was going to look at the group.
That's basically a must-win game for us. You know what I mean? If ever there was a must-win game, it's this. And if we do get a result, it does blow this group wide open. You know what I mean? I'm a eternal optimist. You know what I mean, Baz? I'm always hoping for the absolute best from Glasgow Celtic. We're a special team, capable of beating any team in the world on any given night at Paradise. So I'm sure there's other teams that have fell foul of that and suffered a defeat at the hands of Celtic. And hopefully this is one of those nights.
Let's put it in perspective. Even if we get a draw tonight, right? Even if we get a draw tonight, and think, just be a bit more realistic than going for a crazy scoreline. If we manage to get a draw tonight, which would be a fantastic result, in the Champions League. Brendan Rodgers does have the record of being, unfortunately, the worst manager of Celtic in the Champions League. But if we can get a draw tonight, and the results stay the way they are, Feyenoord are currently top of the group with 6 points. Atletico Madrid would then go on to 5 points, and Lazio are on 4 points, and then Celtic would go to 1 point. That does give us that little bit of breathing space. But then
this is within touching distance in Lazio in that third place if we're looking to drop into the Europa League, which is possibly a more realistic view of this group. You know what I mean?
I always said third place. I mean, people were saying that when we seen the group, you're thinking, right, we did Lazio twice a couple of years ago, 2019. We did Lazio twice. Feyenoord, if we had kept 12 men on the pitch, we could have took something for that game. The first half, I thought the first 30 minutes, don't know, until the sending off, I thought we've got a chance here. We've got a real chance of doing something. When you look at the way that the group is kind of spread out now, Celtic have to take something from this game. Have to take something, because the fact that Feyenoord are on top spot is unbelievable. Because Feyenoord, if you ask me, is the team that I thought would finish bottom, that we would probably finish above, for grabbing that third spot. I mean, I thought if there's any team that we're going to finish fourth, other than Celtic, it's going to be between Feyenoord and Celtic fighting out the group. Now Feyenoord are pulling off of Scotland by the looks of it. Feyenoord are currently top of the group, which is it's a bit nuts. But they've lost one, and they're winning 2. So I mean, Celtic, we've lost 2. We need to do something tonight. We need to do something. When you look, McGregor, it's a big night for him. Big night for McGregor, because a lot of people are saying that McGregor doesn't do enough in the game. And my thoughts behind that is, if McGregor's not doing anything, it means that the team's actually working. The team's actually doing what it should be. Because if McGregor's on the ball, the wingers aren't getting enough of the ball. We're not attacking enough. If McGregor's on the ball, it's because we're under the cosh a bit, and he's trying to open things up.
I think that on the defensive side, it is spot on, Baz, right? When you see Callum McGregor's work rate defensively, then, pardon me, when you see his work rate defensively, that's when you know. Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry, I've got the flu coming on.
Don't die before the game.
Jeez, I'm away with it. When you see Callum McGregor's defensive work rate, you know that's when we're kind of under the cosh.
Yeah.
But I think what people are talking about is him dropping back in front of the defence.
Yes.
Where on the half turn, picks up the ball and threading it through.
Don't worry about it. It's just going to die alive on air. It's right. Let's get some of the comments in. First of all, Somerset Tam, he has said, I was there in 74, all the tackles were hard in that era, but that night Atletico were stopping Celtic at all costs. Brutal, he said. God, you must be some age, Tam. And total respect for you for remembering that game. Steve Dock says, we haven't won a game in the Champions League for over 7 years or something. So we are incapable of beating anyone, says Stephen Dockerty. I kind of get where you're coming for that.
I get that where you're coming from, right? Saying something like that. We've not won a game in 7 years. Some people are the glass is half empty kind of people, and that's just the way they are. You know what I mean, bro? And I understand that pessimistic mindset and that view. But for me, I'm an eternal optimist. I think looking at past results and the past way we've played, we've been the rub of the green, a hair's breadth. A late mistake away from getting fantastic results. Yeah, it's a Colombian flu. That's Peruvian powder. Devil's dandruff's kicking in.
Right, let's get some more comments. Justin says, Commandos, there we go, get this one up. John Shirley says, the Commandos must rule in the midfield. Hatate, O'Reilly, Calmack, all in the call of duty for the Timberwolves. I pretty much agree with that one. I think that those guys need to show their worth tonight. I think O'Reilly, it's a game. I mean, just to think, three seasons ago, he was playing at MK Dons. Just over nearly 4 years ago, he was without a club after leaving Fulham. He left Fulham because he wanted to play football and he wasn't getting to play football at Fulham. So it just shows you, I mean, the fact that Celtic had been watching him from a young age, obviously at Fulham, and then knew that you could get him from MK Dons for such little money when you think about it. What would we pay? $1.5 million?
Yeah, $1.5 million, bro.
That's fantastic money for a player that's going to turn out. I mean, when he goes, he's going to be in the 20 odd million bracket because he's going to go at some point. Let's be realistic. He's not going to be the type of player that sticks around till the 9 in a row year. So touch wood, we get to our third 9 in a row as a club, and we win our third 9 in a row. Now that would be something talking about record breaking, but I don't think he's the type of player that will stick around that long. I think when Celtic get a really good offer on 20 million plus, that'll be probably the time to sell him on. And it'll probably be a club that he feels that he can progress in, and it'll need to be a club. Let's be honest. I think Matt O'Reilly is quite an intelligent guy. He's not going to go down south and just go to a club just because it's English Premiership. I think when he goes to a club, it's going to have to be one of the top sort of 5, 6 down south. If he goes down south, you never know. He might get a move abroad.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. From the NK Dons, bro, when we brought him in, large swathes of Celtic fans would say Matt O'Reilly was firmly a project player, someone to build.
Definitely.
From
definitely.
The NK Dons days, leaving his club, right, without a club to go to, making that decision to choose football first. Look at the meteoric rise of his career. Look where he is now, playing in the Champions League for the world's greatest football club. You know what I mean? The good guys. He's out there trying to slay demons for the good guys. He's been absolutely outstanding this season. And like some people have said in the comments there, I've seen flashing up, it's do or die. It's all or nothing.
Yep,
this is where we need more players to arrive. Yep. Everyone's all in. Let's go for it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
100% behind that way of thinking.
Do you think Kyogo will score tonight?
I think Kyogo getting that goal in the last game and kind of getting that monkey off his back, so to speak, and having that Champions League goal that lots of people were saying, oh, Kyogo, he's not scored in Europe, but he's actually scored in Europe, but in the lesser competition, scoring at this level, that's got to be a big relief for Kyogo as well. I think we might see him unshackled. We might see the shackles are off the wee man and he'll show his quality.
I think the fact that he scored for Japan on international duty is going to be massive for him. It's going to be absolutely massive. And I think the confidence, because I mean, scoring at international level is no mean feat. Is no mean feat at all. And I think that he can take that confidence for me and go into this game tonight and not be, at the end of the day, it's just 11 players on the pitch. It doesn't matter what the name of the team is and how good they are. The experience that they've maybe got. They've never seen Kyogo play before. So
exactly, brother. Exactly. I think a great man once says, you can't play the legend. A legend is undefeatable. You don't play the legend of a team. You go out and play the team that's on the park. You go out and play those 11 men on the park. Now, we know how good, technically, Atletico Madrid are. Do they know how good Celtic are, technically? Can their defenders stand the test of them coming forward? Is Liam Scales going to step up yet again? Carter Vickers is beside him. You'd think he'd be more resolute, solid, and even better performance. Are their defenders capable of tracking Kyogo, who is a movement master? You know what I mean?
That's it.
For me, going into these games now, we look more like we have assets, we have weapons to attack these teams with. And yes, I'm the same as most of the fans. I believe it's like 99% of the fan base would be like, it was an underwhelming window. You know what I mean? With should have really extended with Brendan coming back and the noises that Brendan was making. We should really have extended and went for these bigger targets, bigger players. But just because players cost a lot of money doesn't mean they're going to be a big success. You know what I mean? We've brought players in for Raphael Scheidt, for example. You know what I mean? We brought him in for 5 million.
We paid $4.5 million for a goalkeeper that hardly got any game time for Celtic.
Yeah.
And then we let him go for free. We let him go for free. So
I'd have put him in the B team, Baz.
Yes, exactly. I don't know why we didn't put him out on loan. I mean, we like putting out. That's a conversation for another day. But when you look at the bench tonight, the bench is quite good, because when you look at the bench, you've obviously got young Morrison, you've got Gustav, you've got Phillips, you've got Yang, Turnbull, who will he leave? Will he not at the next window? Then you've got Tomoki Awata, Paulo Bernardo. I think this is the game that Paulo Bernardo could come on in the second half and make a little bit of difference, purely for the fact that he's a continental player. He knows how these guys play. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be good. And then you got to remember, Forrest is there also. The manager is loving the fact that Forrest is still contributing, and he thought that Forrest was brilliant when he came on at the weekend. Then you've got Tony Ralston and Mikey Johnson. When you look at the bench, there is a lot of homegrown talent on that bench, and there's a few players that can come on and change the game. You know, so I think
James Forrest for me, bro. Lots of people say with James Forrest, right? He's not got that electric pace where he used to burn by a defender, and that was his main asset. That was his main weapon. But he did have other weapons as well, like a heavyweight boxer. The last thing that ever goes is his punch. James Forrest, his finishing ability, his ability to stay calm under pressure and put the ball in the back of the net. Coming in off the wings, we've got cover on those wings, which tells me this game is going to, Celtic are going to look to exploit the wings. It's going to be like heavy on Palma and whoever Maeda, I believe, is on the right hand side. So what I would be telling the players is, look, you're maybe playing 60 minutes. If you get overly tired, we'll change you at half time. Just go out and burn it. Give it your absolute all. Just run them ragged.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because they're not going to change their entire lineup. They're not going to swap all their players. We're going to make these changes and absolutely go for it. There is nothing to lose. You know what I mean? It's not like we've got this big European pedigree and reputation at stake here, because we have not been getting the results. And although we have been playing really nice football, there are no medals for losing. You know what I mean? No. We need to, if people would say the Lazio game was do or die, then I would say the Lazio game was a must-win game to kick on and progress. But this game is do or die. This is what it's all about right here. You know what I mean? This is where reputations are forged.
I'm just going to check the game. It's still 2-0 to Feyenoord. I mean, a cracking result in that game would be for Lazio to come back and it'd be 2-2. And then that would really set the group on fire. I mean, that would really
up front, bro.
They need to put their key. Maybe they'll do that towards the end of the game. Yeah, but if it stays 2-0 at the end of the game, what time did that kick off at that game? Let's just see.
As the Champions League is the greatest stage.
68 minutes in that game so far, so it's got a little bit to go.
In that game.
Aye, there's still time in that game for Lazio to come back, and if Lazio do come back, and if they were managed to try and get something out of that game, it'd be fantastic for us. I mean, because that would really open the group up. But then we have to go out and do it tonight. There's no use us saying, if they draw, it's great for the group, and then we go out and we get beat 3-0.
Exactly. And then exactly. There is no one who can help us. You know what I mean, bro? No, it's as much as it's all in our hands. The ball's at our feet. It's a home game. I'm expecting Celtic to come out and really go for it. If anything, like I says, when we had the previous manager, we could sit back and play that ultra defensive style, so to speak, anti-football. And if a boxer was to get an opportunity to fight the champion of the world, sure, he could cover up and hide in the corner and maybe survive 3-4 rounds, or he could come out swinging and maybe just take the top prize. That's what I'm looking for. Come out swinging, put your hat in the ring. You know what I mean? Go for it.
Hat in the ring and see I think if anyone's going to score tonight, I think There's three in my book that are going to have a chance to score. Like, one's going to be obviously Palmer. I think dead ball specialist Kyogo and Matt O'Reilly. I think there's the three players. That's the three players that we need to look at tonight. That we're looking at. I mean, I think O'Reilly's got a cracking shot from him from anywhere. I mean, that one that he took on the volley at the weekend was just sublime. The ball in for Palmer. I mean, he placed that. I think the last time I seen somebody kick it was with such precision was probably Alan Stubbs. I mean, Alan Stubbs could hit a diagonal ball, and it could pinpoint drop at a player's foot. Do you know what I mean? So I think Palm's got Kyogo and Palmer to score tonight. So that'll be, even if we can get both of them to score, it'll be good. I think we're going to need at least 2 goals. We're going to have to get, if we score first, we're going to have to score the second one to try and just, because they're going to then come out and just, I mean, remember playing Real Madrid last year at Celtic Park for 65 minutes for the first half, we were the better team. And then Real Madrid, on about the 65th minute, they just went, right, come on here, we need to start playing football. And then they just take it up that level.
We need to bury them early. That's would be my opinion, bro. If we get one, don't just rest on that one and rest on our laurels. We need to kick on, move forward, and try and put that game to bed as quick as possible. And then, as you says, there comes a time in games where you need to retain possession, play that ball side to side. That's called good game management. We have demonstrated that we're capable of that.
People moan too much about the fact that we do it sometimes, but at this level, it's not about passing the ball to side. It's all about retaining possession and then trying to get our players into positions where they can maybe do something. It's going to be hard against this team, but I do believe that if we attack them at the speed that we can attack them, Spanish football isn't as fast as what Scottish football is. You know, the way that Celtic play, we can hit them. There's You Know My Name with another channel. Jesus, that guy really is obsessed. Ban user. There we go. So that's done. Yep. When you look at it, you know your shame is in the house. What was I saying? I got disrupted by the zombies, and I'm trying to find Celtic TV on my Fire Stick. Right, time is it?
It's your stalker, isn't it, Baz? You know, he's just sitting at home now, putting on lipstick with a pair of sussies on, just like starting the account. It's like, oh, come on, Baz.
like James McAvoy, like James McAvoy on Phil.
Yeah.
That's probably his go-to film. Scottish Celtic TV. I'm just getting this lined up. See if Celtic TV has started yet. They'll not start. They start till. So predictions for the night. You're going for a 3-1 win.
Yes, I am, bro. The 3 goal scorers you mentioned, I'm going for a 3-1 win. The famous Glasgow Celtic.
Famous Glasgow Celtic to win 3-0. Is it on Celtic TV? Celtic TV isn't on yet.
I think it will be on TNT Sports, bro, which is basically BT, isn't it? They rebranded.
Just go.
Yeah, anyone mapping, anyone will do
it. Anyone. Yep. Like the Lady Gremlin.
yeah. Brilliant. Look at that mental image now.
That's so bad.
The fishnet tights and the high heels. Looking like Sharon at EastEnders.
The Gremlins told us what women in 2023 would actually look like.
Oh, jeez, the trout pout.
The trout pout. And the injections into the lips to make them look better. Right, where are you watching the game about?
I'm going to hammer the Fire Stick in and watch it in the house, bro. I'm watching it in home. I've got myself a bottle of the finest wine in the entire galaxy, El Buckfast Tonico.
Right, you know what I mean? If we get enough, yes, do it in the comments. There's 202 people online, so that means it's 202 people that aren't at the game this evening. If we get enough, yes, do it. We'll do a watch along on the channel, and we'll start it just about 5 minutes before kickoff. That allows me to grab some food.
I'll grab a
comment,
TV and move it in here so it's off cam.
Comment now, yes, do it, for us to do a watch along in the comments.
Give us a do it.
Yeah, yes, do it.
And a hail.
And a hail.
Come on.
Yes, do it. There we go. Hashtag 420. There you go.
Do
yes,
it,
do it.
Do it.
Yes. We'll do a watch along so that we're not sitting in the house ourselves. And I've got a beer through there, so I might just grab that. What was that one? No Bucky here, just San Miguel, says Peter Murphy. San Miguel's a good one. San Miguel's all right, but it's not the best Spanish beer. It's not the best Spanish beer. You know my name, a.k.a. Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Bro, I've actually got a picture that I went down to Ibrox after the game and I got Ange to sign a memorial ball that I have here, right back to show you. So I got Ange to sign it. Got it in a wee bag here. Look, it's actually a cracking ball. It's got all the Lisbon Lions that on it, Henrik Larsson. Also got Jim Craig and that to sign it as well. So I've got a few good signatures on it. But when I took the ball down and got Ange to sign it outside Ibrox, that Meek Sunis from Twitter, famous blue-nosed troll, took a picture of me, like my face, stole my face off me and put it on Buffalo Bill's body. And I was like, yeah. The Hun rubs the lotion on its skin or it gets the holes again. You know what I mean, bro? I thanked him for the picture. I was like, thank you. I used it as a profile picture. Loved it.
Used it as a profile picture.
I got a bit today as well because I laughed at someone put up a video and it's a guy in his bathroom and he's drinking beers while he's in the bath and he's got a bit of that talcum powder in a small baggie beside him, you know, and he shows it. But he looks like Cantwell and I'm like, Cantwell's taking this injury well. So they've hopped on that and they've jumped on my profile for where a live stream. And they're like, this guy's a 40-year-old man who live streams, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, aye. Any attention's attention. Thank you very much.
That's it. I've just got to reply to Peter. Peter, nobody drinks Cruz Campo. It's Mau. You drink Mau here. You'll not be able to get that in the UK because you don't get it in the UK at all. I believe it's a good Spanish beer and it's local. It's made... the headquarters is not far from here. Down in Mercia. Anyway, right, let's wrap this video up. We will be live. What time is it? It is 22 minutes past. Kickoff's at 9. We'll jump back on about 5 minutes before kickoff, and then we'll see everyone then. Until then, have a fantastic evening. Go and grab yourselves a beer, get settled up, and then we'll watch the game together.
Yep. Hail, legends. Let's go.